So I'm going to undo these temporary changes, and instead of placing more and more things inside this employee class, I'm going to split this class into two separate classes, employee full-time and employee part-time. Okay, so I'll just remove for now my latest additions, which were just for the sake of demonstration. I'll remove this part over here, and then we'll make sure that everything continues to run as expected, as before. Okay, so this needs to go back to the employee just the way it was, and I'll run it. Okay, so we're back to running the same way. So because this original class employee was designed really like a full-time employee, I'm going to rename it by doing refactoring and renaming it, and just rename it to be a full-time, and I'll keep renaming inside the comments. So it's just nice to use this feature, refactoring, because it also will update the name of the Java file and all comments, and we'll just say refactor. Okay, so this became full-time. I'm going to keep it this way. And notice that also it quickly went ahead and updated employee full-time right here when we were adding our employees to the list. Okay, but that's just an observation. So in my next step, I'm going to copy this and go to week 4 and add the new Java class and name it part-time, so EmployeePT. Okay, so FT for full-time and PT for part-time. And I'm just going to finish this and just get rid of Java docs. And I'll move this to my second tab group right here. And what I'll do is just copy and paste these things. Just copy and paste like this. Okay, and I'll just ignore whatever messages are given to me because I'm trying to do this really for the purpose of demonstration. And so again, we'll change this to, as we mentioned before, because we want to, for the part-time, we want to store hourly pay rate. So this is for the part-time, specific to the part-time. Then of course I'll change this to part-time up to hourly rate, and also the formula for payment amount is going to change, so that we'll just simply multiply hourly rate by hours worked. Okay, so we'll just do this change. I'll just get rid of this. Okay, so that's pretty much going to be the same way. So this is the difference so far. So of course we need to update the name of the constructor so that matches the name of the class. And it's just a quick comparison between the full-time and part-time. So again, the differences are so far. This is one parameter, this is different parameter, because the nature of computation is different. One set of formulas used over here, different set of formulas used over here. The rest pretty much is the same. So this is just a very, very initial part of work. But now we begin to discover new problems. So problem number 1 is right here. We have an array list of employee full-time, but what we'd like to create is full-time employee and then a part-time employee, right? So FT and PT. So this creates a little bit of a problem, so that the array list of employee full-time or whatever employee, I don't know what this is, right? So this is a question mark. This array will resist one way or the other. Either it will accommodate full-time or part-time. So one possibility could be, maybe, is just to split this into two multiple arrays. One will store full-time employees and another one will store part-time employees. And we're just going to have to call this twice or pass two arrays to this run payroll, something like this. So this is one possibility, right? So maybe we could work around like this. So, but just observe that this is a problem. Right now, this array list is just not capable of taking two different kinds of references, full-time versus part-time. It just cannot do this. Problem number two, this run payroll, it's sort of like the second part of the original problem, is that this run payroll again needs to decide what to do with this array type. Okay, so what is the type of this array list? We just like we're using it over here and over here, we just need to, this spreads over across this file as well. And problem number three, which is also memory related. If we look at both the full-time and part-time employees, if we look at both of these, let me just do some alignment here, like this. So we can observe that there are still common parts. Name and tax ID are exactly the same among these data attributes. So it's the result of copy and paste. And of course, string get name and string get name, these getters are also exactly the same because of course they retrieve the name. So there's some things that are the same. Even at the level of constructors, this initialization also looks exactly the same. So what could we do about this? So it's problematic because if something changes here, we would have to do this change in multiple places, and really kind of keeps the complexity at the level that everything that we have to do like doubles in complexity because we have these common parts that are copied and pasted in multiple places on our code. So there's some great news. Java is object-oriented programming language and it supports class inheritance. So as soon as we have this need for copy and paste, which gets us into this ugly situation, of course it should signal immediately that we're doing something in common. There's some commonality between the two classes. So this is a signal that you can organize your classes into superclass and subclasses and let the compiler to do copy and paste for us internally. So this will be our direct step towards the inheritance organization and assembling our employee types into a hierarchy of classes.